Good morning, everybody. I want to bring you up to date with what's happening with the retirement accounts, what my thinking is, and what the next move is likely going to be. And to do that, I'm going to use the S&P 500. It's fairly applicable to each of the indexes. I'm doing this October 9th, first thing in the morning. Markets just opened, and they're opening just slightly higher here at the swing point high on the daily time frame. So we've had a significant rally, straight up off the lows. And it's not unsurprising that it has taken place, because the retest regenerate zone, if we were to draw it in here, it actually goes from about here up to about somewhere up in this area. In that zone, there was multiple swing points over in these, off to the left here, that have fallen off the chart now on the 60 daily chart frame, that are going to be retested as we come back up. Now, if you remember, when we broke down, right, this market actually broke on multiple time frames here and got the follow through, as you would expect, off that multiple time frame break. Now, on the way back up, it's taken more than 6 bars, not only here, but on other time frames as well on some instruments. As it comes back up, the probabilities are extremely high that this market's going to get sold into this area. Extremely high. Now, that doesn't mean that much unless that means something longer term. And so that's the question, right? Does it mean something longer term? So if we switch this to the weekly time frame, I think it does mean something longer term, or at least it possibly does. And I think that's what one has to be worried about on the way back up here. And so what I'm going to do is kind of show you my thinking in terms of what we should or shouldn't be doing as this comes back up. So those swing point lows that I was talking about, there's one here, that's the 2045. The other one is this one right here. And so if we pull those back up and we use the tops of the weekly bars, you can see that's going to be the resistance area on the way back. And that area makes a lot of sense, because if you look at the breakdown bar on the weekly, it's this bar. So to get over the top of that bar is going to be extremely difficult. And so this push back up, if in fact this ends up being a large turn in the market, so in other words, if this is a major turn, and so this pull up, right, that rolls over, if this is the top, then this will be the last chance to get out. And so if you think about it in those terms, right, and if you think about it in terms of classical stuff, right, this looks like a big head and shoulders type top forming. And if it comes back up and holds and pushes back down again, this will be the last exit area, this area here. And so one has to reduce exposure into the strength on the expectation that that may in fact occur, because we do not know for sure what will occur. What we do know is the probability is extremely high they will sell it the first time up there. What we don't know is, will they push it down to lows and make new lows and actually go even lower? That we don't know. This we do know. We know the probabilities are high. So given that, the ideal here is that what we should do is sell into the strength into this area, and once it does whatever it's going to do, if in fact it does break higher, then we would simply put our positions back on, maybe at the same sort of level or maybe a little bit higher somewhere down the road. That's the risk we take, right? We're going to give up this amount of gain here if in fact it keeps going up, to protect ourselves on this amount of loss. That's the idea. And so when we exit these positions here in the next few days, probably, this is the thought process. We will exit, we will reduce our exposure to something minimal, And then if we're wrong and this market really does work higher, then we will simply put exposure back on again at some later date. If we are correct and this does work lower, then at some point in the future, we will put it on at much lower levels again. So that's where we're at. This video was simply to bring you up to date with the thinking, and then we will simply have to do the execution when it's time, and I suspect that time is going to be fairly soon. Okay? So that's the update. There are no changes today. I'm just alerting you to probably what will be unfolding very soon.